Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. As we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where my throat is probably a bit like blah. Mainly because, you know, had a busy day yesterday, and I would say my legs are reasonably tired from walking around and doing ice skating and that stuff. Actually, have I ever spoken about ice skating before on this channel? I don't actually know. Maybe this is a quick little search of my videos just to see if I have, because if I haven't, then it's a perfect time to go talking about it. I had talked about ice skating. Well, we'll title this video Ice Rink, or we'll pretend it's a different thing, because maybe I've changed in 3 years. Anyway, hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhollow, it's 2:46 PM on Sunday, December 17th, 2023. Yeah, so I mean, I spoke a little bit about it yesterday, but I went ice skating with my friends in London last night. Well, we actually did a lot of things. Like in the afternoon, we went shopping to buy things. I got like a pair of gloves. I bought them from Uniqlo. Because originally we were like in John Lewis looking around. I wasn't particularly looking for. Well, okay. Well, I was gonna say, I was like, I should get some gloves because I don't like have any like gloves at the moment. Like I do have gloves. I bought some like whatchamacallits, like touch sense, a good touch capacity, but capacitive gloves. I don't remember, from like Amazon ages ago. But they, I would say, have now holes in them, like at the top, and I was like, okay, you know, I don't really want to have things with holes in. And I had like another pair of like faux leather gloves, pleather or whatever it's called, and the thing is that they've now all like completely flaked off and like are extremely, you know, like cracked and like flaky. And I was like, okay, let's get some new gloves. So originally John Lewis to maybe get some gloves, and I was just like looking around and nothing really catching my fancy. And then I think I went to, did we go to Primark or did we go to Uniqlo next? I can't remember. But anyway, I got some gloves from Uniqlo because I'm like, okay, you know, Uniqlo, very known for having sort of like heat tech technology or whatever. They have very warm clothing. I have some things from Uniqlo. I don't have like a huge amount of things from Uniqlo. I think I have like one jumper maybe, but mainly I have like these inside like thermal tops or whatever from Uniqlo because they are incredibly warm. I think I initially bought it for when I went to like Iceland or something, and it was fantastic. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that, but a little bit of staticky. Woo! Hopefully that's not too loud. Build up. I'm like from there. Yeah. Anyway, so we bought some stuff, and then what else did we do afterwards? We went to go eat like a early lunch / dinner thing at this place that was recommended to me by my sister. It was a Korean fried chicken place, but as we did not realise, it was not a sit down restaurant place. Actually, technically, it was a sit-down restaurant, but it's only at lunchtime, so we ended up going there. Like, we couldn't even find the place to begin with, and then, you know, we saw like a restaurant. It was like a sushi restaurant, and then like that's where it was on the map. And we were like, where is it? We just walked around, and when I looked at like the sushi restaurant door, be like, oh, look, here it is. The menu's in here, so I guess we go in here. We walked in, and we got sat down, and they gave us like the menus for the sushi restaurant, and we were like, hold on, we wanted fried chicken, not sushi. What's going on? And it was like, oh, you had to order the chicken as like takeaway. It's only at lunchtime where they serve you sitting down. I was like, okay, well, this is not exactly what I expected. I mean, the fried chicken was pretty good, I would say. Like, the chicken itself was pretty good. The sauce, I would say, was a bit overwhelming. Like, it was drenched in sauce, I would say, which meant it was actually pretty good for, like, the first couple of bites. But then, you know, from, like, the third bite, like, the second, like, piece or third piece onwards, you're just like, this is a lot. I still liked it. It was just a very strange situation overall. We ended up eating like outside, like sitting next to like a bin or something, because there wasn't really like any good places to sit down. It was like, okay, so this was clearly like a delivery based option or something, and we should have. To be fair, I did actually look it up, and I saw in pictures people sitting down. So I saw people sitting at a table. So I was just like, oh, it must be like a place you can sit down and eat at a table, you know, subconsciously. And it's not like I consciously thought this, so it wasn't really on my mind. Anyway, it wasn't, but it's a funny story. And then we went ice skating in the evening. There's numerous rinks all around London where you can go ice skating. Different ones. Like one I went to when I was much younger, not much younger, like 6 years younger. I think it was during sixth form time. Maybe, I'm not sure. We went to Winter Wonderland, which I talked about before. It's basically like a Christmas-esque fair, which is open for most of December, I think. But Winter Wonderland Rink is not, it's like tiny, is what I'd say. And you kind of don't really go there because it's more like fair, festival, fairground sort of vibes or whatever. It's insanely expensive nowadays, I hear. But still, it's like whatever. So we went ages ago, and this year I randomly brought it up, being like, oh yeah, we should go like ice skating or something again this year. And friends were like, yeah, and we kind of like forgot about it. Until like 3 days ago, a friend was like, yeah, we should do this, and I was like, oh yeah, let's do this, let's organise it. So we went to the rink outside Canary Wharf, because that was one which still had like booking slots, vacancies, I guess. It was significantly bigger than Winter Wonderland, not like a huge amount bigger. I'd say maybe like twice or thrice the size, 2.5 times the size or something. Enough where, you could skate around in a circle and you would probably not collide into anyone. But this is like the first time I've been ice skating since like 6 years ago. It's not like I've ice skated all that often, to be perfectly honest. Like I said, I've done it more frequently when I was younger. For like these family events in my mother's company or whatever, where you can invite your family, and like quite a few of them were ice skating. So I've done it like 5 or something times when I was younger, would be my guess. And for whatever reason, when I was young, it's not like I had like a natural affinity for ice skating or anything, but it was like I was decently okay at it. I was often told that I was running on the ice rather than actually like properly skating, because I didn't know how to ice skate. Like, we weren't taught or anything. We just sort of like walked onto the ice, and I just tried to best emulate what I saw other people doing. Excuse me. So it was a little bit worrying, a little bit worrying, to just be like, okay, get out on the ice again, after 6 years, like, are you gonna be able to do it or anything like that? And it was a bit of a shaky for like the first few minutes. Like, I could still like move. Don't get me wrong. I didn't fall over like at any point. Like, still move, but it was very shaky, and I definitely felt like I was going to fall over multiple times. But then like it was a 45-minute session, but by the time it got to around like 15 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm like comfortably moving. It's not very fast or very smooth, but like I don't feel like I'm going to fall over anymore. And by the time I hit like 30 minutes or something, I was like, okay, yeah, I can actually like ice skate again. Again, like, it's still like at a novice level, I could do like a push off, and like skate around for a bit, but I'm not like, the people, like, sometimes you get in like a real rhythm when you're ice skating, where you're like, yeah, each push off is like perfect, you're getting more and more speed as you're going across the ice or whatever, you're not like wobbling at all, you've got like a perfect momentum going on, and it's like, yeah, this is it, this is probably how you're meant to ice skate. But then suddenly like your foot is like at a slightly wrong angle or something, and you like break, or you're off balance ever so slightly, and then it just like slows you down significantly, and it's just like, ugh. Anyway, my advice to you, if you're ever ice skating, is just like keep your knees slightly bent, I suppose, as you go, and lean forward a little bit, because it's a lot harder, I think, to fall forwards in ice skating than it is backwards. Whenever people fall over, I think in ice skating is whenever they fall backwards onto their bum, because I don't know, the skates are slippery, I suppose, by definition of them. Yeah, so I felt like I got a lot more comfortable with it. It was incredibly exhausting, and the thing I didn't realise is it's incredibly warm, because the ice skating rink we went to had like a gazebo-esque structure over the top. I'm not sure gazebo is really the right word, but like a canopy-esque sort of thing, or glass canopy thing over the top of it. It was outdoors, yeah, but it was also, still covered. So we were obviously all wrapped up for the winter weather, coats, scarves, gloves and hats and that sort of thing, skating around. But it got extremely hot. I took off like my hat, scarf and gloves like midway through the thing, and I was like, I don't even know if I needed to wear a coat. It's so hot, like, skating around with this, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, which is a thing I didn't realise. And we also had spent like most of that day walking. we did like 20,000 something steps, no, 22,000 steps or something a day roughly, which, it's not like a hike or anything, but it's still like a lot, to be doing like 20,000 steps and then go ice skating for an hour. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, we did an escape room, I suppose, earlier. Escape for 5 minutes after. It was actually probably one of the closest escapes that we've had for a while. An escape room, but yeah, we did alright. And I mean, the company we went to, you might be familiar with it if you're familiar with any of like the sheep, or hold on, I'm trying to give like a vague hint without like completely giving everything away. I don't know, it feels a bit weird like saying personal information on the internet, because it's kind of there forever. But we're with a mouse logo, if you've done those escape rooms in London. It was their escape rooms are always a very high quality, I would say. I'll say some of the clues, only one of the clues I would say was just like we were talking about it afterwards. It was like that felt really arbitrary as like a solution, but fair enough. I mean, it didn't have to be arbitrary. It just needs like one more clue to sort of like point it in that direction. Methinks, but obviously it's not really like I'm not one designing these escape rooms or whatever. I know it's been a long time since I feel like I've done an escape room, to be perfectly honest. I'm not sure if I failed an escape room yet, which I think is, I don't know if that's necessarily a good or bad thing, because it's kind of more up to the design of the escape room itself and how well you organise your team, etc, etc. So, I don't know, at some point that's going to obviously not always be the case, but while it is, you know, let's lean into it. Anyway, sorry, so I forgot we did that, we did ice skating. So, we had a very busy day, and to wrap it up... Oh, sorry, I just like heard weird noises, and I was like, what is that? To wrap it up with, like, more exercise, it was, like, exhausting. Anyway, it was a nice rink, though. Had some nice lights going on, it had a big, like, Christmas tree in the centre, which sprayed out, like, foam, I guess I would describe it as, like snow foam, from the centre, from like this cannon thing, which, you know, I stood under it for a little bit, because I was like, you know, get the snow in my hair. I have black hair, obviously, so, well, I don't know why I said obviously, it's not necessarily obvious, but I have black hair, and, you know, white snow obviously, like, shows up very nicely on black hair, and it's like, oh, you know, it's like a, I don't know, aesthetic to a certain degree. It reminds me, actually, back in university, there was a club we went to where they held like a Christmas event, and the Christmas event was like a snow thing where they just like released a load of foam just onto the dance pit. It was actually kind of suffocating, I'm not gonna lie. This, you know, just imagine like, I don't know, 100 or so fresher students or something, or dancing in the club, and just like we have like foam cannons spraying it. It's like it's like going up to your like waist height or something, of just like a load of foam. It's like constantly shower down on you, and then like people are trying to sing along, then you get like soapy foam in your mouth or whatever. I remember they played Let It Go though, and that was pretty, you know, it's a pretty good choice of song to play. Anyway, that's what I vaguely remember from that. Oh, that's a very blurry picture I took there. Probably because I was ice skating at the same time. I was just looking at the photos, seeing if there's anything cool. Oh yeah, we saw this very Christmassy car. I can't remember what car. My friend told me it was. Like a Mazda something. I'm almost out of storage on my Google. Oh, my friend's uploaded photos. Let's see. What have they uploaded? What is that? I have no clue. It's a video of me. Oh. Lovely photos. Anyway, yeah, so ice skating. I mean, ice skating's a fun time. Do I prefer ice skating or rollerblading? That's a good question. I haven't done rollerblading nearly as much as I've done ice skating. I don't know, actually. They are pretty similar, aren't they, in the same regard? I mean, you both have, like, inline skates, inline rollerblades, or whatever, which are, by design, meant to be kind of frictionless. You kind of fall over in the same way. I guess you kind of wear helmets and knee pads or something. Well, you don't have to, but you're theoretically meant to when you're rollerblading. But you're not meant to in ice skating, I guess. At least they don't tell you to. To be fair, there was someone I saw who was ice skating around with a bicycle helmet on, which I was like, you know, that's fair enough. And that's pretty responsible. Like, you know, I feel like, how do I say it? People would look at that and be like, you know, what lame person, like, ice skating around with like a bicycle helmet on, you know, I'm too cool for bicycle helmets. But fair enough, if that person felt like he was, like, you know, nervous about it, he was going to fall over, put on a bicycle helmet, you know, protect your head, protect your cranium. Those things save lives, you know. Certainly when I'm cycling, I would always put on a bike helmet, you know, safety first, and I would implore you to do the same. Whether be whatever the not regulation. Well, I mean, yes, regulations, I suppose, but like the social regulations are expectations, I suppose, of wherever you live. You know, because in some places it's very frequent that people don't wear like cycling helmets and that sort of thing. But I'm like, even if not, I'm just like, it's a safety thing. Same things are like seatbelts as well. Definitely put your seatbelts on, like in a car. It's literally a lifesaver. You know, quite literally. Like, it sort of boggles my mind that people don't want to do it. I'm like, you don't want to put on the safety equipment when you're in something which could, you know, very easily change your life forever if you don't put on. I'm like, why? just do it. not trying to call out any one of my friends in particular or anything, but it's just sort of like in general, kind of mind-boggling. I think probably one of the reasons why is I remember my headmaster back in primary school telling me a story. This has not got anything to do with ice skating anymore. Telling a story of basically how a bicycle helmet saved his life, where he was cycling somewhere, I can't remember, and he got like knocked off like a mini cliff or something, and he landed like directly on his head, but he still lived or whatever. Like I can't remember if I don't think he did. I think he told us about the bicycle helmet because he didn't actually bring it in, but in like previous years he would like tell the story every single year because there's like a week or something about like road safety or something dedicated to it, where he would bring in a bicycle helmet in and it would be like split exactly in half or whatever. And he ended up in hospital, of course, but he lived. Without a bike helmet, very much unalived, as they say. So yeah, a respect to that person for going against the, conventional peer pressure norms of being like, feeling like looking a little bit strange, I suppose, wearing a bicycle helmet. And wearing a bicycle helmet just to make sure that, he stays safe and that sort of thing. Certainly, I understand that you don't need a bicycle helmet, I suppose, while you're ice skating most of the time. Presumably, if you're, there's a lot less risk. I guess you can't ice skate as fast as, well, I don't know. I guess you could speed skate as fast as you cycle. And actually, now I think about it, speed skaters do wear bicycle helmets. Or not bicycle helmets, ice skating helmets, I suppose. So yeah, I guess, if you're going at a certain speed, definitely wear helmets. And even if you're going slowly and you're worried about it, wear a helmet. Why not? What's the worst thing that will happen? Oh no, you didn't have to, your helmet didn't need to save your life because, anything like that, or didn't need to protect you from an injury. That's like, that's a pretty good worst possible outcome, to be honest. So yeah, I don't really know what I was going about. Wear your helmets, especially if it's a law, like doubly so if it's illegal not to. Anyway, so ice skating, yes. Oh, you're ill. Let's go get you medicine. I forgot what I was saying now. Keep your knees bent. Have a solid base to sort of like skate forward in, and then at least the way I did it is you like push off with your foot while you're balancing on the other foot going forward, and the foot you're pushing off on is like slightly diagonal to the direction you're going with. So you can actually get some sort of purchase on the ice. I don't really necessarily know how to ice skate properly. I'm not like an expert. I definitely did not feel like I was running on the ice, though. I very much felt like I was actually skating. So, that's a personal growth, I suppose, since I was a child, to no longer be running on the ice. Somehow, I don't even know how it's possible just to like run on the ice. If anything, now think about it, like imagining running on ice, that's kind of like how I imagine like ice hockey players start building up speed, they sort of do that running thing. Maybe I was actually just ice skating when I was younger, but it just kind of looked very goofy because I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, nowadays I don't really know what I'm doing. I guess I'm better at emulating things I see compared to myself at 6 years old or something. I don't know. Don't even think it too much. I'm just like, what am I saying? I don't know. Saying absolute nonsense and just sort of filling up empty air with it. Anyway, our ice rink. So yeah, the ice rink wasn't like huge compared to some of it. But I can't remember what indoor ones we've been to, but I've been to a couple of indoor ones and they were like huge. I think at like birthday parties or something. They've been pretty big. So maybe, I don't know, maybe next time we'll end up going to like a outside of winter, going to like one of those things. I don't know, but there was a lot of like activities me and my friends just like want to try and want to do. I wonder if one day we'll go to like a dry slope, because we've been talking about it for ages, being like we should go on like a skiing or snowboarding holiday, which is like a very sort of classic holiday, I think, for at least one I hear a lot of like friends go to in school. Like there was even a school trip to go like skiing or snowboarding, which I don't know why I didn't go on. I definitely should have, because I think at the time I did know how to ski/snowboard. Maybe because it was expensive. I honestly don't remember. But now we're adults, why not give it a shot? Go to somewhere in Europe, the Alps, because there are these like skiing resorts or places, right? And presumably there's a lot of different like routes you can take for if you're like familiar with skiing or not, etc, etc, etc. I don't know. We have a wide bevy of skills. Because then again, I've done a lot of skiing and snowboarding. I know how to do both, theoretically. It's just been years and years since I've done it. And I've done it on dry slopes, not on actual snowy mountains. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode off here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.